hanging in there.
Yeah.
I got a little bit of congestion today.
Mm-hmm.
I got worried because, Omicron is going around. And
What?
Omicron.
I don't watch the news, so you're going to
You don't watch the news?
No, girl, I got anxiety.
I mean, okay. Oh, well, then maybe I shouldn't tell you this.
Be raising my BP.
Yeah. Oh, for the love. What I have to call an ambulance.
Please don't.
Omicron is the new variant for COVID. Like it was Delta, and now it's Omicron.
Uh-huh.
And it's supposed to be super duper contagious. Like way more contagious than Delta ever was.
What?
But the good news is it's not, supposedly, the early signs are that it's not as severe. But.
So it won't make you as sick, but you'll get it faster.
Correct. That's the early indications. So, and Alabama hasn't officially had a case yet. Like states around us have.
Oh.
But they've not found it in Alabama yet.
Well,
That
Avery's
doesn't mean it's not
definitely
here,
got it.
But anyway, so I had a little bit of a cough, and I was like, oh, crap.
Yeah.
Even though I've had COVID.
Will that Walgreens test you sent to me, will that pick it up?
It should, and I took one, and I took two, because I had two in the closet. So a couple of days ago, I took one, and today I took one.
And it said no.
And it's negative, yeah. I mean, I feel fine. I mean, I don't have COVID.
Avery's got a nasty cold.
Yeah, it's a cold. It's just a cold.
Is it?
Yeah, it totally is.
Okay.
Just because I can't taste or smell. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Well, they say that with Omicron, you don't lose your taste or your smell. So you don't know. You sort of
Well,
damned
then
if you
that
do,
just
damned if you
sounds
don't.
made up. Are we going to get
We're
emails?
gonna get canceled.
Hey guys, there's this virus and you don't have any symptoms. And everybody catches it. And it's called the Voltron variant. And there's no cure.
And there's no cure.
Just like the common cold. Did I just
We're going to get
discover something? You know, I'm not.
Listen, what I need to tell people is that Misty is not saying that COVID doesn't exist.
I'm not political, and I've had COVID. I know it exists. I lost my
sucks.
taste and smell, and it sucks, yeah.
It sucks so much. I had it. It
Yeah.
took me a month to recover.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like what I have now is definitely not what I had back then.
Yeah,
So
and
it's
I
just a
don't
cold.
and I don't watch the news, so I don't care.
Don't care. Yep. And that's, you know what? Who did I hear say that the other day? There's some celebrity that she was like, I've just stopped. It's just too much.
I just can't anymore.
Yeah, that's why I gave up politics. That's why I don't, I mean, I used
Did
to
you?
have, yes, I had I had like serious opinions and
Right.
I thought at one point that was going to be my career.
Yeah.
And over the last 5-6 years, particularly the last 4 years or so, I've just been like, I can't.
Yeah.
I cannot. It's too divisive. It's just too, nobody sees any gray. Everybody sees black and white. So I
Right.
just can't anymore.
I just like to talk about fun stuff.
Right. For instance, we've just been reminiscing about high school.
High school.
No, we started talking about it
Do you
because
know-
we both have teenagers.
Do you know what
We're
Philip-
being serious Uncle Rico's over here.
Yeah.
Do you know who Uncle Rico is? You know who Uncle Rico is.
Yeah. Back in the day.
Yeah, Uncle, that's who we are.
92.
Aunt Rico.
Aunt Rika. Yeah. Well, you know, Philip said the other day, he was like, because we were talking about the difference between high schoolers now and how they handle stress and anxiety versus like our generation, which was rub dirt on it and go take a lap around
We
the
didn't
house.
have stress
like,
and anxiety.
yeah, there was
We didn't
no
have it.
such thing. He was like, these kids just, they would not last a day in our life back in the day.
You know what? Conversely, I don't know what we would do with the things that they have to put up with social media and everything that they do and say.
Amaryllis, I would thrive.
I would thrive.
Can I
You mean
just-
pictures of me everywhere?
Can I just tell you, I was doing selfies before selfies were a thing.
Okay.
I would turn a disposable camera backwards so quick and take a picture of myself
And hope for the best.
and go down to CVS and print out 50 black colored copies that didn't develop or didn't take so I could buy that one photograph of me
Right.
on the football field
Okay.
thinking about memories.
I had those disposable cameras.
Yeah. I mean, when digital came out, I thought, y'all don't even know what you have.
You have no, it's a treasure.
I mean, I didn't know what I looked like in my wedding pictures. And now somebody takes a picture of me in my living room and I'm like, let me see that before you post it or save it.
And let me filter it.
And let me filter it and
yeah.
put some makeup on my face.
Oh.
No, I don't do that. Do you do that?
Absolutely, I do that.
Do you really?
Are you kidding me?
You use a makeup app?
I use all kinds of apps
Amaryllis,
to make me look better.
Stop.
I am not as beautiful as I look online. People are like, oh my gosh, that's such a great picture of you. I'm like, I know.
See, I feel like I would get real excited with it and overdo it and it'd just be Tammy Faye all over again.
Well, my mom has told me that doesn't look like you, so stop. So,
Well-
so I try to make sure that it's
Minimal.
subtle.
Yeah.
But I can't, like, when I gain weight, I gain it in my face first. And so that's the first thing that has to get thinned out. And then, oh yes.
Oh, you do the whole thing.
Oh, are you kidding? Yes. Yeah.
See, now,
And makeup. Yeah.
I think that's fine.
It's really a picture of how I would like to look or how I have looked in the past.
or how you feel.
Correct.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, now, I do have this one girl that I follow on Facebook, and every single picture of her, there's like it looks like the Holy Spirit's just surrounding her face.
No, I don't do that.
Like a white cloud, and I'm like, girl, your eyeballs are blurry. I know that is not.
You know, that's what
not
all
you.
these skincare people do. Like
don't
these
have
skincare
lilac
companies
eyes.
that are like, here's my before and here's my after. And I'm like,
No, it
does
ain't.
nobody understand this is complete filter work?
Yeah.
This is not your Rejuvenate skin cream working. It's
Right.
Miracle.
That's not what it is.
I don't even know if that's the
That's
name
called
of them.
Facetune.
Yes. By the way, I don't know if that's the name of an actual skincare product. I'm just saying, generally speaking, those before and afters are always touched up.
Yeah.
Always, always, always.
Yeah.
But anyway, speaking of that,
Well, we were just talking about our teenagers, and this week my daughter has had her third car accident. She's 17.
she needs her car taken away.
She's 17, about to be 18, but all of her car accidents have been in the driveway.
Well, she's keeping it safe.
Yeah, she's keeping it safe. She knocked down the front of our fence one time. And then this time she
knocked down the front of your fence, so did she forget to brake?
Well, she was in her brother's truck, and she was going to move it, and she said she hit the gas instead of the brake. And I said, "Did we?"
Isn't that like a basic driving
Well,
skill?
I said, "Well, that's a big part of the driving exam."
Yes.
So did your instructor skip over that, or now? To be fair, she got her license during COVID, so
Okay.
I feel like that she probably didn't get the full experience. But you would think day one would be gas and brake.
Day one.
Maybe not. I don't know.
I mean, maybe like pre-driving lesson
Yeah.
in the book.
Well, she's definitely learned what the gas is now.
Okay.
But now this was a couple of days ago. She said to me, I'm going to go get some Starbucks because she's a businesswoman who needs to go get her coffee in the morning, apparently. And I said, okay. And so she was like, I'm blocked in because when Isaac is home, Philip makes us do this like grid parking pattern in our driveway.
So everybody can get in and out.
everybody can fit and everybody's super tight. And so she was like, can I just take your car? And I have a new car.
So no.
Girl, no. And so I'm so glad I was like, no, you're not taking my car. Like, have your brother pull out and then you pull out. It's real easy. And so she's like, okay. And
Or
so,
wait to get Starbucks.
or make a pot of coffee.
Make a pot of coffee.
Anyway,
Please
so
put the Keurig pot in.
Exactly. So she goes out and runs back in the house crying and said, I just hit the mailbox. And I was like, what? I think I said a bad word. And
It's okay.
It's okay.
It's fine.
You know, from the abundance of the heart. So I was like, what in the world? And I said, how did you hit the mailbox? Now, we don't have like a government issued mailbox. We've got a brick,
Oh gosh.
fancy mailbox, okay?
Yeah.
And so she said, well, I was trying to pull out and I was trying not to hit your car because Dad has us parked so close together. And I was like, Avery, that mailbox is at least 60 feet from my car.
Also, this is not your dad's fault.
Not your dad's fault. Yeah. And you had already cleared my car way before you got to that mailbox. And she was like, and I said, were you on the phone? She's like, no, I wasn't on the phone. And I was like, okay, you had to be doing something. There's not a reason why. You could have just backed straight out. And she was like, well, my windows were fogged up. And
So she couldn't see.
she couldn't see. So she just backed her tail right out.
Just hoping for the best.
Yeah. And then my favorite excuse she had was, Isaac was behind me and he didn't even warn me. Because his
This is
job
not her fault. This is her daddy's
his
fault
job is
and
to
Isaac.
let her out of the driveway, watch to see if she's going to hit a mailbox, and then honk to keep her from hitting the mailbox. Now, mind you, I said, okay, well, you hit the mailbox. You know when you hit something like you feel it and you'll immediately brake or pull forward? She had to be running real hot out of this driveway because, buddy, she took it all the way down the side of this brick
I
mailbox.
saw the picture. It looked like an actual car accident.
When she showed me the picture, the whole side door is caved in.
Yeah.
And there is racing stripes all the way down. And I was like, you didn't even stop. Like,
Yeah,
you just
she kept going. She
you
had to get
just-
to Starbucks, man.
You let it out all the way out. And she was like, I didn't even hear it. And I was like, are you deaf? Like, how do you hit a mailbox? But at least she's not hitting other people.
That's true.
Right?
But listen, you can't keep somebody from their pumpkin spice latte.
No. But, to teach her a lesson, because we're all about learning a lesson, I told my husband, I was like, we're not fixing that car. Like, she can drive it like that for a while. And
Or she can pay us our $1,000 deductible or whatever it is.
yeah, like that's just how it's going to be. Like, you're just going to look busted up for a while. Because, I did that in high school. I had a wreck. And my daddy decided that the best remedy for that was to put a different colored front end on my car. So I drove a nice little front red, back black Beretta. Like, party in the front, business in the back.
Right.
Beretta.
A patchwork Beretta, if you will.
Yeah, and how about I look before I pull out in front of a truck now?
You do not want a patchwork Mazda.
You really don't want that.
I'm going to tell you who's not driving.
Who's that?
Joe Exotic.
No, he is not.
How's that for a transition?
No, he is not.
He's not going to be driving for a while.
Hey, friends, this is on the dock.
We watch documentaries, so you don't have to.
And
we also like to just audio record our conversations.
And we think we're super funny.
Yes.
And we love to hear
And
ourselves talk.
if you think we are, please let us know. But if you don't think we are, do not let us know.
People think I'm kidding, but I listen to us when I'm taking a bath.
Every day?
Every day.
Every day.
Every day.
So for the last month, you've been listening to Grey Gardens every single day.
Every day.
Well, it's a good episode.
It's assault.
Listen, what's going to happen is people are going to email us and be like, I really like your podcast, but please stop talking so much at the beginning.
They
I
love
really
it.
just want to hear about the documentary.
Can I just tell you, though, before we actually get started on Tiger King and Joe Exotic, that I am overwhelmed by the emails you have been sending me.
Oh, my gosh.
I love nothing more than to hear someone tell me that I'm funny and to tell me that they like listening to me. It lights my life up.
It is shocking
Because guess who
that
will
we
not
get these emails.
tell me I'm funny and that they like to hear me talk? And that's my family.
At home.
At home. They don't do it.
Yeah.
So,
I think every time I send my husband a copy of an email that we get, he's like, please stop sending me texts.
do you know what Philip says?
What?
That's good. And then I try to tell my kids and they say, you're still doing that?
My family's like, Mom, you're trying too hard.
And then I tell my mom and she says, what's a podcast?
One of my sisters said, hey, I listened to one of them and it was really funny. And then my other sister was like, I tried and I just couldn't.
Oh. My favorite was when we were on that trip and I made Philip listen to some of it and he did laugh. Like, he tries so hard not to laugh at me, but he was laughing a little bit and he said, I can see what some people might find enjoyable about this. I was like, well, that's the best compliment you've ever given me. So thank you.
So generous. So generous with the compliments.
So generous. But we've had some really awesome people reach out to us. And look, our families will not support us. And
we need outside support.
And we need outside support. Like, y'all are keeping me from doubling my dose every day. So keep the fan mail coming.
Please.
I don't even call it fan mail. I call it friend mail.
They're our new friends.
They're our new friends.
They're our new friends.
Yes.
We should have a Zoom call with all our new friends.
Oh my gosh.
Wouldn't that be so
fun?
You know what?
Yeah.
That's a good idea. Maybe we'll schedule that after Christmas.
Yeah.
That would be so fun. And it'll have to be a Zoom call where they'll have lots of filters so they can't really see what I look like. Even though I'm very beautiful.
You could put on your Facetune and your makeup app.
I think I will.
There you go. So,
all right. So what we want to do today is we're going to talk about the second season of Tiger King.
yes.
But it's 5 episodes long. And so just like with the first season, we're going to split it up into 2 sections.
2 sections.
But in between, we're not going to do it consecutively. So we'll do a couple episodes today.
Mm-hmm.
And next week we'll do, and we are going to try to get together next week. So it'll be a week or so between episodes. And we'll do a different one next week. And then after the new year, we'll go back and finish up.
Yes.
Does this sound like a plan?
That sounds like a plan.
All right. So we open up with Tiger King, and Joe Exotic is still in jail. And somehow has the exact same haircut as he had outside of jail.
But let me tell you something. His roots have grown, and his whole bang is dark. It's no longer blonde.
Did you say his roots?
His roots.
Stop saying roots.
That's his roots.
Roots.
His roots.
Roots.
Tomato. Maybe they say roots in Cuban. In Alabama, they say roots.
Raíces.
Andale.
I'm not Mexican.
That's all. Oh, it's not. Send your emails to.
I'm not being racist. I'm just saying I'm Cuban. I'm not Mexican.
That's
like me calling you Irish and you saying I'm American.
I might be. I really do want to get that DNA thing.
I want to do it too.
White people never know what they are.
They don't.
They don't. I have no clue what made up all this beautifulness.
It has to be something else.
It's a concoction where your skin can't tolerate the sun. I know that. And I got a bad GI tract.
And a bad GI tract. And a bad ticker.
And a sucky heart. But my skin is flawless.
But you are gorgeous.
Thank you.
Anyway, somehow he has imported or taught someone how to cut his hair exactly how it was cut in the outside world.
Absolutely. And I don't even want to think about the favors he's trading for that.
Gross.
That's not your regular barber.
I don't know that really is a favor. I mean,
I just don't understand why they can't give him a little bit of bleach to keep that blonde go. I am a bottle blonde myself. And so I know how it feels when that dark starts coming out and it just makes you feel dreary.
the roots.
The roots come out and you just feel like you're just not yourself. And then you go and you get those fulls put in and you're like, whew, new woman.
I mean, on top of him serving 60 years, he also has to have bad hair.
Roots
It's
and
it's cruel
prison.
and unusual. It's cruel and unusual.
Roots are their own prison. They hold you back from being your best
real
self.
self.
Your best self.
So Tiger King 2, if you've not watched it yet, that's why we're here.
Yes.
It's basically just
Well, and really the first episode is just kind of catching up with everybody. Because
giving some new background that we didn't know about.
Yeah.
For instance, did you know Joe was engaged? I don't remember that.
Joe was married.
Was
For
he married to her?
16 years. Oh.
Well, no.
Oh, and then engaged to the
No. He was
the female woman.
Yes, he was engaged to this woman who was the fire chief's daughter. She was like, he was such a gentleman.
He never wanted
to have sex with me. We slept in the same bed. It was so sweet. They lived together for Misty. They lived together for several years.
Yeah.
And she was like, I just thought it was so nice. He was such a gentleman that he did not want to have sex with me before we got married.
He said, I lived with her for 7 years, never had sex one time.
Not once. She said, my friends told me he was gay, but I said no.
But then she started seeing him come home drunk and scantily clad and found out he was stripping for the mayor.
For the mayor?
He had to raise money for that fire truck.
Yes. They never once, I mean, to me what was so funny, she was like, they told me he was gay, but I just I just didn't believe it.
Yeah.
What he didn't think he needed to do was wait on having, stripping for the mayor, but
No, but
I mean, that was totally fine.
but she felt special.
So they broke up, and that's when he came out to her, and that's when he met Brian, who was the guy that he married.
Right. And when he came out in a way that I think is probably the most fitting way for Joe Exotic, was to have on a like a PetSmart shirt holding a gay pride flag.
What? I missed that.
Did you miss that?
Yes.
He was working at some type of a pet store and stood outside the pet store with the rainbow flag and took a whole photo shoot. It was beautiful. Yeah, he worked at Super Pets. And
okay.
There's a photograph of him in front of a Super Pet store in a Super Pets polo holding a gay pride flag, the rainbow flag. And so I thought to myself, well, if that's how you're going to come out, that's the best way.
That's the best way.
Because he loves pets.
Yeah. And he loved Brian.
And he loved men. So there you go.
So that works perfectly.
All in one photo.
Also, did you think that ex-fiance was the nicest lady of all time?
She was the sweetest thing. How about even after she
was
realized
like-
that he was not concerned about saving his virginity, that she still allowed him to like have a relationship with her kids.
Well,
and
she had a relationship with the two of them.
with
as a
him,
couple.
and his new love.
Yeah, I mean, I actually kind of think it's sort of awesome, but
yeah,
I mean, I just thought, and it's just her talking. She was so sweet, and I wanted to be her friend.
Is that what you refer to as a beard?
Yes, but she was an unwitting accomplice. Like she didn't know.
She didn't know that she was.
The other thing is, it made me kind of sad because I believe those experiences really led to what Joe became, and that is, in the 80s and early 90s, coming out was a surefire way to torpedo your life. And and so
it was dangerous.
Yes,
Physically,
yes. And he was suicidal. And it just makes me so sad that he just felt so trapped in that world that he attempted suicide a number of times because of that. And so it just,
when she said he would tell her, I don't want to be gay, because he knew it was going to be hard and he knew what he was going to have to face with that.
So knowing that, like, I love that she was like, you know what, I love you, Joe. So, and I want you to be part of my life. And even though this is really awful for me.
Right. I'm a little embarrassed.
Yeah, I'm a little embarrassed.
Yeah.
So it just makes me sad because those experiences, and I know he bears responsibility for whatever choices he's made, but those experiences influence.
Oh, yeah, they shape you.
They shape you. So it makes me really sad that was something that he went through.
Yeah.
It really kind of humanized. Now, the good thing about all of this was it showed us, it moved us into Joe Exotic, the singer, and showed us
right.
how great at lip syncing he is.
He really is. And the use of candles and roses in his music videos are transcendent.
So, okay, one of my favorite things about the whole couple of episodes that we watched was they talked about how everything Joe did was a video. He would always video. He was always in front of a camera.
If you talk about that chimp.
That was my favorite. Can you please do an impression of Joe and that chimp?
Joe loved that chimp so much that when it died, he decided that he needed to do a music video. Say something, I'm giving up on you.
Okay, but before they did a whole video on its burial, they put a Joe
Exotic t-shirt on it.
And he would not allow a necropsy. So
No.
nobody knows why the chimp died. It could have very well been Joe put a little something something in his food.
No,
But
and as soon as it started to pass, he had to videotape it.
Oh yes.
And weep over it and hug it.
Oh yes.
And put it in a Joe Exotic t-shirt and bury it.
And then film a music video.
Say something, I'm giving up on you.
It was.
Well, I guess you'll have to because it's dead. Well, it was. They showed it.
All right, and then we get a look at John Finley. Can we talk about John Finley's glow up?
John Finley.
Yes.
Oh, our friend John Finley.
No, that's Reineke.
Oh.
John Finley was his husband with the teeth.
Yes.
And after it was over, he got his teeth done.
Let me tell
and
you.
He's straight because, spoiler alert, he was always straight.
P.S. He was never gay.
Yes, he was always straight. He just liked drugs.
He loved drugs and guns and four-wheelers.
Yes.
And he hated dental care.
He got his teeth done, and he's wearing a shirt.
Yes, girl.
And he's a thirst trap now. He was
Please.
so handsome.
He was
so
handsome.
cute.
Yeah, he's cute.
And he appeared to be completely lucid and straight and like
he wasn't
and
slurring
straight.
words.
And I don't mean straight like not gay. I'm talking about like not on drugs and on the straight and narrow.
He was on the straight and narrow,
Yeah.
and he was straight.
Yes,
Both.
and straight. Well, he's gotten married, I think, and now
Yeah.
he's got a child or something.
Yeah.
But it's such the difference when you clean up your life and get off of drugs and get off of toxic relationships and just get yourself together.
Well, and it seemed like everybody had kind of taken this whole Tiger King experience and made it their own. But one of the people that Joe was not real pleased with was Dylan. Now, Dylan has turned into a little monster, is what he said.
Yes.
And they had a fight the day. Now, Dylan is his... Did they get married?
Oh, yes.
I couldn't remember.
His last name
Okay.
is Maldonado Passage. His name is Dylan Passage.
Okay, so his current husband, the day he got arrested and went to jail, they got into a fight, and he said Dylan hadn't talked to him since.
Well,
and he's been in jail for how long? Like a year or so more, right?
Oh, minimum.
Minimum.
Yes.
But now let me tell you what Dylan is doing. And he's really taken this Tiger King experience and used it to the fullest. He's launched his own line of anal bleach called Tiger Taint and Tail Brightener.
I did not. Okay.
And
we're going to have to put an explicit warning on this one. Sorry, folks.
Well, I mean, who doesn't use the bleach?
Yeah, me.
Not me.
I do not use it.
Nor do I. But I'm sure there's a market for it.
Oh, apparently he's got his own line. So
They said this was a real gentle formulation.
well, I hope.
So it reduces the burning, and it's just as bright as you can get. We will put in some before and afters.
Okay. This definitely took a turn.
But now he's not the only one that's really marketed himself because of Tiger King. Our friend that shouted
John
us
Reineke,
out,
yes.
John Reineke,
Yes.
he's doing some commercials for personal injury.
Get out.
Yeah.
I missed that.
Did you miss that?
Yeah.
Yeah, he said...
I was cleaning the house while I was rewatching.
Yeah, he started off, he's with this personal injury lawyer,
Yeah.
and he's making this
For his metal legs.
ad for his metal legs. And he said, if you've ever been in an accident, and then he was like, whoops, like I need another take. And the attorney was like, that was fabulous. Like, that's the kind of energy I want.
Let's keep it.
And he was like, well, okay, well,
Let's keep that take.
I'll just keep on doing what I'm doing. So
We did see Josh Dial, the guy that did not love us or love me.
you know what I loved
You
it.
have to go back and listen to the Tiger King episode to know that Josh Dial does not like me.
Is not a fan
Yeah.
of On the Dot.
We've not received fan mail from Josh Dial.
Let me tell you what I do appreciate about Josh Dial. He said that he went crazy after Tiger King.
I would submit he was crazy before, but okay.
Well, he said it was after. And he did send us
I've got the direct messages to prove otherwise.
He did send us those rude direct messages afterwards. So I'm going to say he was suffering from PTSD.
Yes.
So I'm going to give him a pass because we're pleasant.
Okay, we'll give you another chance.
You know who I was excited to see?
Who?
Saf,
Oh, yeah.
our fave.
Yes.
Saf is really one of the only people that didn't seem like had really changed very much.
When we saw him in the original episodes, he was Team Tiger. Like,
Yes.
definitely wanted to do everything.
He got his arm bit off for
Yes,
it.
and went back to work like 3 days later.
3 hours later.
Yeah. would have gone back sooner if he could have.
He loved those
but
animals.
now
I think he was in it for the right reason.
Huh?
I think he was in it for the right reason. I think he really did love the animals.
No doubt.
Yeah.
But now he says, you know what? I realized that what I was doing, or basically the organization I was part of, was not in the best interest of the tigers.
I was part of this bad
while
machine.
he wanted to do what was best for the tigers, now when you look at it,
Probably not a good idea.
not a good idea.
Yeah.
Not a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay. Fast forward to Joe Exotic has developed this following of people who really, in fact, it seems to be general consensus, except for Carol Baskin and not Alan. What's the guy's name that?
Can we talk about one more person before we start on this? James Garrison. I really was hurting for James Garrison. Let me tell you why. Because Tiger King has, well, he does, and he still looks like a real life-size Chucky doll. And he said that Tiger King had completely, he really got screwed, and it's messing with his jet ski business because he's getting bad reviews. And we've been victims of that.
Of bad reviews?
Well, when people are jealous of you, they will leave you a bad review. And I don't want to say...
That's the only explanation.
I don't want to say anything, but he said that he went from 5 stars to 3. So it's really messed with his jet ski business. Somebody said that he was oiling his jet skis with sardines. Which really lit a fire under him. But he has been able to make some friends and get some contacts, which is good with this kind of thing. And he's made a friend with a man named Mike Bussey, who is a podcaster. I'm not sure what podcast he does, but he does have a real cool house that he calls the Sausage Castle.
Okay.
Amaryllis, do you remember this part? Do you remember this part?
I do not remember this part.
Were you asleep during episode 1?
Okay, let me tell you what happened. I will tell you what happened. I did watch it, and I've actually watched it twice. But both times, I was not 100% paying attention because the first time I watched it, I was working. So I can't look up the whole time I'm working.
Really?
I paint pottery, and so I had to look down, obviously, while I'm painting.
Can I give you some advice?
Get out of this business?
Well, no, it's hard to watch a documentary if you can't look up.
I can listen, and I knew the voices. But what happens, so then I watched it again today.
Right.
And I did take notes today, but I was kind of in and out because I was doing stuff around.
Well...
So what I'm saying is you've got to take the lead on this today.
So Mike Bussey is a podcaster, and so he was doing like an episode with James because obviously James has information to give. And he owns a place called the Sausage Castle, which they don't serve sausage there. I found that out. But
they do not serve sausage at the
They
sausage
do not
place.
serve
What do they
sausage
serve?
or any breakfast. Which I was really upset about because I thought to myself, well, that is a $1 million idea for a breakfast franchise, the Sausage Castle.
Okay.
But this is just a place where a lot of strippers go and dance on poles while he podcasts. So sausage.
Why have we not thought of that?
Sausage, I think, stands for something else, and not the delicious breakfast food that I desire.
Well, what could it stand for?
It stands for another sausage that I don't desire,
Turkey sausage?
unless it's my husband's.
All right. This is taking a
Well,
surreal turn.
Anyway, listen, James Garrison, we can't offer you the Sausage Castle. But if you would like an interview on the Doc podcast,
call us.
Call us, and we can offer you a delicious apple cider Amaryllis made for me this morning. And she's got 4 cats.
3 cats.
I'll bring 1.
Oh. We've got plenty.
And we're a ball of fun, too.
All right, there you have it. So the general consensus is that Joe got a raw deal, with the exception of Carol Baskin. She thinks we ought to throw the book at him.
That be.
And who's, I can't think of the guy's name. He's like one of the biggest characters, the guy that took the zoo.
Oh, that guy I hate.
Yes.
What's his name?
Alec Glover is the guy who was like the hired hitman.
Oh,
but I can't think of I mean, he's one of the biggest names on there now. I can't
This
remember.
is when you know we're not professionals.
Yes, I know. Well, there's too many names to remember.
He's the guy that married the girl
The
but
stripper,
said, I can
yeah.
do a bunch of stuff with other people.
Yes, it's so stupid.
That
But anyway, so the two of them are the only ones that think really Joe Exotic should be in jail for the rest of his life. Everybody else is like, we've got evidence that this actually didn't go down the way the federal government says it went down. And even if it did, this is a lot of time for what it is that they say he did.
Right.
And so he develops this team around him, and he's got this lawyer, and he's got people with a bunch of money that are totally Team Joe. And so they decided to start lobbying Donald Trump for a pardon because, Misty, you don't do politics or news, but you may or may not know that at the end of a presidential term, not just a presidential term, at the end of like if they've not been reelected or if they're done with their 2 terms, there will be a slew of pardons because the president can pardon anybody that's been charged with a federal crime. And
I did finish 7th grade social studies, so I do
Okay,
know that.
all right. Well, listen, I don't want to insult your intelligence, but I just want to have a little reminder on civics.
Pardon, yes. Yes.
A pardon, Misty, is when...
It's when somebody says, you don't got to be in jail no more.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. And your record's expunged and the whole shebang, and they can do whatever.
Which
So,
is
and
crazy to me. Like, that's still a crazy, like,
It's a benefit of being president.
like a perk.
Yeah, total perk.
How many can you get off? Now, I don't know that.
Oh, however many you want.
However many you want?
Oh, my gosh. And for any reason. Absolutely.
Well,
Yeah.
can I ask you, can I tell you one thing?
And it can't be like a state charge. It has to be a federal charge.
Well, who pardoned OJ? Because I saw him making some comments on
No,
this
OJ
episode.
didn't get pardoned.
Well, he's on the golf course in this episode.
He served his time.
Oh, he's done?
Yep. Well, first of all, he was found not guilty for murdering those 2 people in California.
Sure.
Nicole Simpson and Ron Goldman, which, by the way, he did it.
You didn't.
So he was found not guilty, so he didn't serve any time for that beyond being in custody. And then he was found guilty of reselling or trying to steal his own memorabilia back.
Well, he like did a hostage.
reselling.
He did like a home invasion situation,
Yes,
didn't he?
that's what he got.
Yeah.
That's why he got. He was put in jail for a couple of years for that. I don't even remember how long.
Yeah.
And then I just read a couple of days ago that he just fulfilled the probationary part of that sentence, and so he's totally free and clear. So
Oh yeah, they showed him on the golf course.
yeah. So now even if he says, "Hey, I did kill Nicole and Ron," that would be double jeopardy. So he can't be tried for it.
Yeah, and I know about that because I watched that Ashley Judd movie. Double
Double
Jeopardy.
jeopardy.
So I do know what Double Jeopardy is.
Okay, so they start lobbying Donald Trump, and they're really hopeful. In fact, they took a limousine. Well, first of all, they went to the January 6th Stop the Steal rally,
Right.
which we all know turned into a complete disaster because that was when the riots at the Capitol happened. And so there goes like their
neighborhood.
chance. They were like, by the way, Alabama's own Mo Brooks got a cameo in Tiger King because he was, Mo Brooks famously was on stage saying, "We've got to go stop this," and whatever. And so they showed him.
Yeah, and P.S. All these people lobbying for this pardon have never met Joe Exotic.
No,
They are literally sucking
Meineke,
at
he's the
the
only one, yeah.
celebrity teat. That's
Yes.
what they're doing.
Yeah. And so this lawyer was like, "Hey, let's take my plane and let's put Joe Exotic's face on it. Let's go to Washington."
Let's get a Cadillac and put his face with a crown that says, "I will never financially recover from this."
That's my favorite thing he's ever said. That's my favorite.
I say it at least 3 times at home.
I will never
week.
financially recover from this.
That's what I said when Avery jetted out that driveway with that car.
Avery, you will never financially recover.
Will
from
never
this.
financially recover from this because you make $10 an hour and you work about 3 hours a day.
Whenever you want, yeah.
Yeah.
You want. So they left the rally only to hear reports of everything turning into a complete disaster over at the Capitol, which meant nobody talking about Joe Exotic.
Oh.
It was all the
For naught.
Capitol riots from then on. And it turns out President Trump did not pardon Joe Exotic.
Amazing.
Which completely devastated them because they put
They
all
really
their eggs
thought
in this
that was
basket.
gonna
They really
work
thought
out
this
for
was
them,
going
didn't they?
to They had that huge giant stretch limo ready for him.
I mean,
The thing was like,
look,
baller.
I couldn't see him going, "Hey, Joe Exotic, come on down." Like, I mean, even I think that's a little stretch for him. So.
And then we kind of take a turn into talking about Don Lewis. Mm-hmm. Don Lewis is possibly alive, which is not as fun as having fed him to the tigers.
Possibly, yeah.
Then we can't talk about how Carol Baskin did it.
True.
If he's still alive, that totally takes the wind out of our sails.
It does. And I learned a lot of things about Don Lewis that were horrible and concerning.
And I kind of wish she had been killed.
A little bit, especially when they told me that on his trips to, where would he go?
Costa Rica.
Costa Rica, that he would try to lure women with bags of old yard sale clothes. Now, that might work in Alabama. I don't see it working in Costa Rica.
He put ads in English language newspapers for young, attractive females who speak English who could interpret for him, and that room and lodging was included. Hey, give me a call. And guess what his favorite was? A 15-year-old named Karina. And he said, hey, Karina. 15.
I've got this bag of old yard sale clothes. And although I'm a millionaire,
yeah,
I will trade you this bag of old yard sale clothes for some loving.
For some loving.
Yeah.
I was so disgusted by this part of this revelation.
Yeah. I mean,
what else?
I was feeling bad for Don for a while, but how about if he was doing that? I don't feel bad for him anymore.
He had a brothel full of underage girls.
Children. Yeah.
A brothel full of my daughter's 15.
Mm-hmm.
Gross.
Disgusting.
Yeah. So now I'm like, well, Don, if she did feed you the tigers, you had it coming.
Absolutely.
I think you're both terrible people.
And how about you got off easy, if that's the way you went for doing that kind of stuff?
Yeah, but you know what? He probably, if he didn't, then he's had this beautiful life in Costa Rica.
If he didn't,
as a millionaire,
then he just had to get away from Carol Baskin.
That's the other thing is how bad is your life to go do that? I mean, to leave everything you know, to leave your children,
right?
To leave your cats that you love so much.
Yeah.
How much do you hate Carol Baskin that you do that?
It's got to be a large amount.
Which I tell you, when I look at her on television, I'm almost to that same level. I do not like her. I have what's known as a spiritual gift called discernment.
As do I.
And discernment tells me when I look at her and she speaks, even though I know it's an edited thing, but I've seen her in interviews, and when she talks, that's not truth coming out of her mouth.
Something's missing from her. Yeah.
That's not truth coming out of her mouth.
No.
And certainly I could be wrong, but she is a lunatic. Also, we missed Howard. He was barely in this episode. Like, we just saw pictures of him. He never talked.
Oh, yeah, that's
her
right.
husband.
Well, except for when they were trying to interview him and he said, moving on.
I'm out.
He didn't want to talk about anything. But we did get to meet one of Carol's ex-lovers. Oh, goodness.
He liked to play golf.
Well, and he also brought out a romantic side of Carol. Did you hear some of the journal entries that she made about him?
Yes, I did.
And how he would breathe softly on her neck, and it created a web of ecstasy around her.
Have y'all seen this boyfriend?
He looks like Colonel Sanders.
I think Colonel Sanders is an Adonis compared to this guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He said he's not chopped liver.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, you is.
I beg to differ.
I couldn't get past those eyebrows alone.
Now listen, can we talk about Carol for a second?
Absolutely.
You know me well enough to know that I don't really care what I look like. Like, I will sometimes brush my hair. Every now and then I'll throw a hot roller on there.
Well, natural beauty, you can do that.
That's true. I don't have to judge it up that much.
You don't have to try.
But what I'm saying is I'm not a fashionista. I don't have a closet full of clothes or shoes. Mm-hmm. But I look at Carol Baskin and I think, I'm a supermodel. why can't somebody lovingly tell her to brush her hair, get an age-appropriate haircut?
Yes.
If you would like to wear cat print, let's maybe do something a little more flattering.
Please stop wearing
And
a
let's
pigtail.
talk about this makeup.
Yes.
Can we...
Purple's not your color.
Certainly not bright purple lips.
Or eyeshadows.
Why can't somebody lovingly tell her, you are a beautiful woman. We can make this work.
Here's what I think about Carol Baskin. I think Carol Baskin is extremely smart. And I think that Carol Baskin does that because that gets Carol Baskin attention.
I guess.
I mean, that can't be serious.
That hair is, listen, I'm being so superficial, but I have a hard time looking past it. Like, that hair is so flyaway, and it's just bad. It's bad.
Do you remember that comedian Carrot Top?
I've seen Carrot Top live twice. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Fun fact, I saw his very last show in Birmingham before all of his props burned down.
Fun fact, he cannot possibly believe that hair looks good. So...
I don't think he does.
I feel the same way about Carol. I feel like she has created this caricature,
Yeah.
and that works for her, and that makes her a lot of money, and it works with her whole "hey cats and kittens" vibe, and and that's what she's going to do. And I mean, surely she knows that she does not look good like that, and it is not fashion forward. And you've got money.
You've got a couple dollars in the bank. Let's go shopping, Carol.
And they've put you on Dancing with the Stars looking like a fool.
A fool.
And you're fine with it.
It makes me, it makes me feel bad about how I feel about it, because that's not who I am. Like, I don't care about people like that. But I look at her and I think, you're so beautiful. Because you look pictures of her as a young woman. She was gorgeous. And she could age beautifully also. But there's nothing that she does about herself that's age appropriate. So it just makes her look kind of.
Yeah.
Sorry. So I wish that.
I just look at Carol and I see a hustler. Like, she knows how to get what she wants. She doesn't care how old her men are. She doesn't care, who she has to step over and what she has to do. Like, she's going to do what she wants to do.
And what she wants to do is keep those cats healthy and her hair looking horrible.
And her hair looking afraid. Yes.
Yeah. So we find out that Dawn may actually... There is a Homeland Security report.
Donna's living 2 lives, okay?
2 lives.
And one of them is alive and one of them is dead.
One of them, and both of them, Homeland Security knows about.
That's right. And can we also talk about Anne?
Talk about who?
Anne.
Oh, yes.
Don's assistant.
Let me tell you. I like Anne.
I love Anne. I think Anne was either she wanted to have Don as a lover or she had taken Don as a lover at one time, because she has such affection for Don that in a letter that she wrote him, she said to Don, "Don, if you will tell me if you are alive, I will quit smoking. And I will pay you back all the money I owe you with interest."
First of all, I don't think they were ever lovers, because, Anne, I love you, but she's not as attractive as the women that he was looking for. He's looking for young, attractive women. And I saw pictures of Anne.
Well, he had to go to Costa Rica to find them, so he had to do something before then.
Well, but he was worth $7 million when he was in the United States, and Carol Baskin is not an unattractive lady.
Well, obviously his personality is not great.
Correct, yeah. But what I'm saying is he does not like to land unattractive women. And I'm not saying she's unattractive, but she's not like, he looks for young, beautiful 15-year-olds.
So do you think Anne was sweet on him, though? I think she was sweet on him.
Probably.
I think she was sweet on him.
Probably, but I don't think he would have acted on that.
Yeah. I mean, I think she really did care about him. I don't know anybody else that would offer to give up cigarettes the way that she did.
Well, that is a sacrifice.
It really is.
That's a sacrifice.
And I'm not going to pay back anybody money I owe them. So, and she offered interest.
Hey, do you think that Dawn was piloting Gwen Shamblin's plane?
When podcasts collide. Maybe
he was like, I don't have a license,
was.
but I can fly it. I'm just going to go.
I mean, look, either he's real dead or he's living his best life in Costa Rica.
Yeah.
One or the other.
Also, did you hear them say that he was 49 years old? He looked like my grandpa.
When he went missing, he was 40?
Yes.
There is no way.
Yes. They said he was 49 years old when he went missing.
Lord, did Carol age him?
He looked like he was a good 70 years old.
At least.
I couldn't believe I'm 50. I just turned 50.
And you look great.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That was me fishing for a compliment.
Yes.
I'm just saying, he was 49 years old. That's a young man. He looked like he was 70.
Good grief.
Yeah.
And his daughters look elderly. Maybe it's genetics.
His daughters what?
They look elderly. Like they look older.
One of them looks very old.
So how could he be only 49?
When he disappeared, now how long ago was that? I don't even know.
23 years.
Yeah. So he'd only now be in his 70s, early 70s.
Good grief.
Yeah.
Well, I know he did have kids young with his wife.
So, I mean, that would make them in
So
their
they would
50s.
be in their 50s now, too. Yeah.
But still.
But one of them, yeah, they look older.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, listen. Yeah.
But like you said, this was the first time I had heard that there was a document stating,
An actual document.
an actual government document stating that he is alive and well.
Yeah. And they know about it.
And they know about
But
it.
I don't guess it's illegal to do that.
Well, I mean,
To disappear. To make yourself go. Like, if I wanted to just walk out this door and never be heard from again, that's not illegal.
really?
Correct. I mean, obviously, I have to
I mean,
pay whatever I owe, or, if I'm walking out on a warrant or something, that would be different. But
Right.
if I just said, you know what, I don't want to have my family anymore, and I just left, that's not illegal.
You can do that.
Yeah, totally.
Well, I mean, I guess that's why a lot of these missing people cases go unsolved, because unless they have evidence, I mean, it's not a crime to disappear,
Correct.
right?
Yeah. So the only time it would be a crime is if you do it with the intent of having them look for you, and then you waste taxpayer money with all these searches.
Right.
And then, they find, oh, yeah, you found me. But it was,
Yeah.
But if I just wanted to leave, or you wanted to leave,
Yeah.
it's not illegal. Now, it's a crappy thing to do to your friends and family.
Right.
But that's morally, obviously, that's wrong. But
Yeah.
legally, if you just want to leave, there's nothing that can stop you.
Yeah.
So I'm inclined to believe that he is alive, because there were so many people they interviewed in Costa Rica about, I was his chauffeur, or I was his cleanup guy, or I was the one who helped him buy all this real estate. He was buying up real estate left and right in Costa Rica.
Oh, yeah.
But so I'm inclined to believe that he did just fly down there. But then again, why would he leave his daughters? Because his daughters don't know where he is.
Right.
That's the only thing. And
Well,
then it's
and
like
that one guy that was, I guess he was like his assistant or his chauffeur driver or whatever, he said, well, Don lives two lives. He has business during the day and fun times at night. And that reminded me a lot of you. And so I was like, I'm like him. I'm not having anything to do with those fun times at night.
Yeah.
He said he just stayed away from that.
Yeah, smart.
So
Yeah, this guy had he was not nice. So now it just kind of it validates what Carol was saying. He was not a good guy. Mm-hmm. And it sort of makes me feel bad about all the bad things we said about Carol, but at the same time, Carol's not telling the truth. She knows something, because you can see it. You can see it. There's nothing
all over her
when she talks that makes you think otherwise.
And it's almost like her fun little secret. It's like,
I'm the only one.
I think she kind of gets a kick out of
knowing
knowing things that nobody else knows.
She absolutely is the only one that knows, because she said, it's like the guy, whoever at the very end said, I don't know what happened. He could have left, and this could have been exactly what she says, but nobody will know, because she is the only person to have seen him. It was the last person to have seen him alive.
And in the wise words of Joe Exotic, that woman is ludicrous.
She is, indeed. She is. So that attorney, so then he hired some kind of attorney who was on Let's Make a Deal.
does he find these people? Or how do these people, I guess they find him.
Birds of a feather, Misty.
I mean,
Birds of a feather.
he said that he is no stranger to the spotlight.
No, he's not. He went I mean, I remember when all this went down. Because I know they took out some ad time during Dancing with the Stars when she was on there.
Oh yeah,
last
4
year.
billboards.
Yes, and I mean, he immediately was like, "We're going on air. We're going to let everybody know." Now, I think they finally fired this guy at some point.
Yeah, and he was pretty much like, "Hey, if anybody has any information, Carol Baskin." Call 1-8.
It's embarrassing. Like, those daughters should never have hired him. But I'm sure he sold himself to them. But when he came down dressed like Hamilton or Thomas Jefferson or whoever he was supposed to be.
Yeah.
On Let's Make a Deal down to Wayne Brady.
But do you think the daughters and the ex-wife are really concerned about where he is or more concerned about inheritance?
I would think probably both. Mm-hmm. Now, the daughters would have been in their 30s, I guess, when he disappeared. Mm-hmm. I mean, that would be a hit, right? Because by all accounts, they loved each other. He loved them. Mm-hmm. It's not like he was a bad dad to them.
So they didn't have any bad things to say about him.
No, they didn't.
And he was not bad to his ex-wife, except for marrying
he did
a 19.
Cheat on his ex-wife.
Except for hooking up with a 19-year-old Carol Baskin.
Except for that.
Yeah.
Except for that. Mm-hmm. I don't know about the ex-wife. You know what she doesn't get anything to begin with. She has nothing to gain.
Right.
Except for those daughters. Mm-hmm. They would.
Right.
But I think
that's $7 million.
I mean, I think two things can be true at the same time.
Okay.
I love my dad and he's missing. Wouldn't it be awesome if we could find him and get our money?
I'd love $7 million.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it's not just $7 million because God knows how much money he stowed away in Costa Rica in cash.
And you can understand just not wanting Carol to have it.
Correct.
So.
Well, and that's another thing that I kept coming back to is, what is it about Carol Baskin that he hated so much that he told everybody, and so many people kept saying the same thing. He hated Carol. He didn't want her to have a dime of his money. And he said it over and over and over and over again. There was something about her that she was doing to him, the way she lived her life, the way she treated him. I don't know what it was, but it made him hate her.
Yeah.
Just as much as she hated him.
I mean, to the point that he hid hundreds of thousands of dollars in cardboard boxes and flew them to Costa Rica.
Look, if a couple who meets the way they met, and that is he picks her up on the side of the road because she's angry at her husband.
At her husband, yeah.
And then they have an affair, and then they get married. If they can't last, Misty, what's hope is there for us?
Love is dead.
Lust. I don't know how we're going to survive.
Love is a lie.
Love is a lie.
That's right.
I don't know. I mean, you've got what, 20?
I've got 23 years under my belt. Yeah.
I've got almost 17 years. Mm-hmm. I don't know how we're going to survive.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
And if I start seeing Philip walking out the door every morning with a cardboard box, I'm going to get real suspicious.
Also check to make sure there's no cats in it.
True.
No cats.
Or
Caracals.
Or Jordans.
Isn't that what they call them? Or Jordans.
Or Jordans.
Hey, did you love that tip line that lawyer opened up and all the people that were calling in?
I did.
One of them was like, hey, he went missing in a cage with a lion and it turned into cat.
Beep.
Lewis was killed and they took out his eyes and his tongue. He's in a Wisconsin penitentiary for murdering a tattoo artist.
Because nobody would be able to track that down.
Yes.
But she said, don't say anything because I don't want to get killed.
No, yeah. Listen, do with this what you will. Just don't call me back.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I don't even want the 100,000.
No.
No, thank you.
All right, so the next 3 episodes, we start talking about Jeff Lowe. That's his name. Jeff Lowe. And do we see Doc Antle again? I don't know if we see Doc Antle
Well, you know, we saw that there's a
series.
whole documentary, so I think he probably said, I'm not going to be a part of this if I can get my own.
Maybe we should watch that one, and we won't necessarily cover it, but it'll be like a supplement to our next 3 episodes.
Okay, good idea.
So we'll talk to, and then I can't remember what else is involved, but I've listened to all 3.
Yes. Yes.
Semi-watched, and definitely listened to the rest of them.
Yeah.
So we will do that next time, or We'll do that in the new year, the
Yes.
second half.
Second half will be in the new year.
Yes. And then next week, Missy and I have an idea of what we're going to do, but just because every time I say we're going to do something, then we don't do it, I'm not going to say it.
And then we lies.
Then we lie.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you have planned for the rest of the day?
Nothing.
Outstanding.
Yeah. I'm going to go home and get my kid off the bus and put back all the presents that my cats have knocked down back under my tree, because that's their fun little game they like to play. And then see if my husband will bring me home some takeout, because I don't feel like cooking.
Well, it's Wednesday night. You should go to choir practice tonight.
You've
because
taken all
there's
the energy
cookies
out of me.
there tonight.
That's a recipe for diabetes.
I was thinking I might make some gingerbread cookies tonight.
That does
I
sound
might
good.
print out a gingerbread house template and make homemade gingerbread
Today?
with Nova.
Within this flash of hours?
Maybe.
For me to make a gingerbread house, I would need at least a week of preparation just to get myself.
I don't prepare.
Geared up.
I'm a shoot first. Think
You like
later.
to just do things.
Yeah,
though.
I'm a shoot first, think later kind of girl.
Yeah.
Before we go, we have got some shout outs.
Yes.
Well, like Misty said earlier, we have been so humbled and gratified and just so excited whenever we get an email from somebody. Thank you, thank you. We've got the Pod Squad that sent us an email. Hello, Pod Squad. Thank you.
So like I was fangirling.
I know.
Yes.
I know. It's so exciting. And we've got Elizabeth message, and she said, I'm a super fan. And I was like, what? We have a super fan?
Yes,
This is
Elizabeth.
fantastic. Elizabeth wins the super fan title because I think she's our
Absolutely.
only one. Thank you, Elizabeth.
We love you.
And then Teresa messaged us.
Yes,
and
Teresa.
she said she really loves the show. And Heidi.
I love
I don't
that
know
name.
Heidi, but I love her name. Yes.
I love that movie when I was a kid.
She was so sweet. She sent us an email. And we can't forget Benji. Benji, our Yankee listener.
Benji.
Thank you, Benji. We want to send out a shout out to two friends of ours that Misty and I both know, and they've been listening since the beginning.
I just caught that fly in my hand, like
It's one
Karate
of those
Kid.
It's one of those little fruit
Fruit
flies.
flies, and I just caught it.
Well, good. Well, it definitely. Remember we talked about I had a fruit fly infestation.
Oh, yeah.
It's definitely almost gone, but I've got like a few that are like staying around,
Well,
and I
if
don't
you'll
know
let
where
me,
they are.
if you'll
'cause I
let me
put all
sit
my
here a
food
minute,
away.
I'll catch all of them.
Well, good.
Because I should like Mr. Miyagi.
Anyway, so we've got these two friends from our church, and their names are David and Aaron.
Yes.
And they are just a sweet family, and they've got these two beautiful little girls. They're not little; they're like total teenagers. We just talked about this weekend. They're like tall and long legs,
Pretty
and gorgeous,
girls,
and now
yeah.
they're growing up. But David and Aaron listen to us when they go on road trips.
They go traveling. They were
We're
like,
their travel companions.
they were like, you should feel so good. Like, it's like y'all are in the car with us. And I was like, well, you didn't invite us on the trip. So,
So we can sort of
whatever.
pretend like we've been to Alaska.
Yeah. But, you know.
Yeah. So thank you for listening, and we love you guys.
Yeah.
And all right, I think that's about it. You guys don't forget to go rate us. And you know what? Another shout out, Jay. We got an email from my friend Jay, who said he was on an airplane and he had to watch himself because people might think he's crazy, I guess. I don't know. He didn't say that part, but he was like, I was trying so hard not to laugh because I was on an airplane.
Yeah.
So thank you, Jay.
Yeah. Thank y'all for putting up with our shenanigans.
Yes. Well, I just tell people, I don't understand. Why do people even bother listening to our nonsense? I mean, this is complete nonsense.
Well, and to be honest, y'all, like literally, we just turn these microphones on
And hope for the best.
and hope for the best. And we just like do what we would normally do. And I mean, it was kind of like I related Tiger King being so big because of quarantine. Like this whole little podcast was born out of quarantine. Like literally, we were sitting there and Amaryllis texted me and was like, because I had asked her about a documentary I saw, and she was like, yeah, because I was like, Amaryllis is smart. I bet she watches documentaries. And so she texted me and said, hey, have you got some other documentaries? I really like that one that you told me about. And I was like, well, yeah. And then she was like,
Let's
let's talk about it on a podcast. And I was like, well, that's brilliant.
I can't help it. I'm so smart.
I'd love nothing more. Thus, On the Dock was born.
Yes. Yeah. All right. I guess we'll see you guys next week because we're going to not wait another month. We're going to try to do this again next week. We're going to get on a schedule again. I promise.
Yes.
I promise. All right. Well, listen. Go get Eli from the bus.
I will. Go paint your pottery.
Huh?
Are you done with your pottery?
Yes. I've got like a couple of loose ends, but I'm done with
Yeah.
500 pieces.
I know y'all find this hard to believe, but we do have to have other jobs besides this podcast.
Mostly because this generates zero income.
$0. Please.
You know what? We should
Let's
put
start
our
a
Venmo.
Patreon.
We should totally put our Venmo up on our Facebook page and just say, you know what? Just start sending us cash, people.
Yeah, I'll tell you mine right now. It's Misty, MISTY, dash, just a middle dash, Gillespie, GILLISPIE.
Well, there you have it.
There you go.
Hey, just make sure that you put it's for on the doc when you send it to her so she can split it with me because I don't know mine offhand.
Yeah, or you could just put Merry Christmas.
So when you get a random amount from a stranger.
Well, Avery, I do have to say, this was very smart. Her first day of senior year, she wrote on the back of her window, because, they paint their cars up for senior year, the first day of school.
Yeah.
And she wrote on the back of her car, send the senior a coffee, and put her Venmo. That fool got $100.
I was going to say, how much did she get?
She got about $100.
From whom?
From just random sweet people. Friends, yeah.
What in the world?
Isn't that cool?
Well, yes, it's very cool. I was trying to see if I could come. Oh, okay. Mine is, look, I got a $4 balance on my Venmo. I had no idea.
Shut your mouth. As soon as I have 15 cents, I transfer that mother.
I didn't realize that's enough for some coffee.
Yeah, it is.
Mine's Amaryllis 111. AMARILYS 111.
There you go.
There you have it.
So
now we're probably going to get thousands and thousands of dollars.
at least.
Thousands.
At least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll be enough for us to retire.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
For sure. Or at least go to Starbucks.
At least.
But we won't let Avery drive us there.
Avery cannot drive.
No, ma'am.
All right, listen. I will talk to you next week. I would say Merry Christmas, but I'm not going to because then that means I'll need to see you next week to wish you a Merry Christmas.
Oh, okay. And I have a Christmas card that I put in the mail because I think it's tacky to hand deliver. So you'll be getting it soon.
Outstanding.
You're welcome. It's a stamp.
Bye, Misty.
Bye.